still comb the hills for clues about the explosion. I'll take what I can find. Having the Herald address the clerics is not a terrible idea.
You can't be serious.
Mother Giselle isn't wrong. At the moment, the Chantry's only strength is that they are united in opinion. And we should ignore the danger to the Herald. Let's ask her.
What can they do is just talk.
Don't underestimate the power of their words. An angry mob will do you in just as quickly as a blade.
I will go with her. Mother Giselle said she could provide us names. Use them.
But why? This is nothing but a...
What choice do we have, Liliana? Right now we can't approach anyone for help with the breach. Use what influence we have to call the clerics together. Once they are ready, we will see this through. The city still mourns.
Just a guest seeker, but I think they all know who we are.
Your skills of observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
My Lady Herald!
You're one of Leliana's people. What have you found?
The Chantry Mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
People seem to think the Templars will protect them from the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
Only one thing to do, then. They wish to protect the people? From us?
We knew there would be some kind of reaction.
But I didn't expect the Templars to make an appearance.
The people may just be assuming what the Templars will do. I've heard of no concrete plans.
You think the Order's return to the fold, maybe? To deal with us upstarts?
I know Lord Seeker Lucius. I can't imagine him coming to the Chantry's defense. Not after all that's occurred.
We're doing all this to get help with the breach. Maybe this is our chance to get the Templars on our side.
Perhaps. Return to Haven. Someone will need to inform them if we are delayed.
As you say, my lady.
People of Val Royal, hear me. Together, we mourn our divine. A naive and beautiful heart, silenced by treachery. You wonder what will become of a murderer. Well, wonder no more. Behold, the so-called Herald of Andraste, claiming to rise where our beloved fell. We say this is a false prophet. The Maker would send no elf in our hour of need.
We came here in peace, simply to talk, and this is what you do. I implore you, let us sit down together to deal with the real threat.
It's true. The Inquisition seeks only to end this madness before it is too late.
It is already too late. The Templars have returned to the Chantry. They will face this Inquisition, and the people will be safe once more.
Still yourself. She is beneath us.
What's the meaning of this?
Her claim to authority is an insult, much like your own.
Lord Seeker Lucius, it's imperative that we speak with...
You will not address me.
Lord Seeker?
Creating a heretical movement, raising up a puppet as Andraste's prophet, you should be ashamed. You should all be ashamed. The Templars failed no one when they left the Chantry to purge the mages. You are the ones who have failed. You who'd leash our righteous swords with doubt and fear. If you came to appeal to the Chantry, you are too late. The only destiny here that demands respect is mine.
If you're not here to help the Chantry, then you just came to make speeches.
I came to see what frightens old women so, and to laugh.
But Lord Seeker, what if she really was sent by the Maker? What if...
You are called to a higher purpose. Do not question.
I will make the Templar Order a power that stands alone against the Void. We deserve recognition. Independence. You have shown me nothing, and the Inquisition, less than nothing. Templars, Val Royal is unworthy of our protection. We march.
Charming fellow, isn't he?
Has Lord Seeker Lucius gone mad?
Do you know him very well?
He took over the Seekers of Truth 2 years ago, after Lord Seeker Lambert's death. He was always a decent man, never given to ambition and grandstanding. This is very bizarre.
Do you think he can be reasoned with?
I hope so. If not him, there are surely others in the Order who don't feel as he does. Either way, we should first return to Haven and inform the others.
Excuse me, but is what they're saying real? The Inquisition's going to fix the whole...
I'm going to give it a try.
No one is doing anything. The Chantry's useless and... Listen, your camp will need...
You want to help?
Never been part of something this big before, but... If your Inquisition's going to seal the sky...
What do you think, Hassan?
I think the woman is...
Well, she is.
The Herald of Andraste. Haven is a mess, but we won't turn away anyone willing to help. Invite her.
Head to Haven, then. We need good...
I don't know if I'm that, but... Thank you.
The Templars
What's that? An arrow with a message?
fetch their Templars back, I wonder.
The Templars didn't even touch
My
you.
Maker, know my heart. Take from me a life of sorrow. Oh, Maker, look away. I have broken the chant because it comes from my heart. What have we when our divine is dead?
What do you mean, you...
Are you also ignorant of the Maker's most The chant of light is how we honor the Maker. They are the only... Our divine is dead. Our Templars gone. The Maker's silence is deafening.
The blessings of Andraste are not lost.
Hold your tongue. I will not hear them. Maker, put out my eyes. The one who repents, who has faith on...
This is bullshit. I've never seen the Dalish stand.
I believe that messenger is trying to get our attention.
My eyes.
You are the Herald of Andraste, are you not? I have an invitation for you.
What is the Grand Cathedral thinking? We must have a new divine. She will show us the way. What is the Grand Cathedral thinking? We must have a new divine. She will show us the way.
Move along.
Open? Yes, as open as I can be. If you've a need for the... At the very least, we can appear.
They left us.
Like everything is normal.
Us to the mages. Chantry liars.
You trouble anyone, we'll see.
It seems change is on the wind. I wish...
Ever since our divine was murdered, toothless old fools are lost without her.
This victory must please you great.
We came here seeking only to speak with the mother.
And you had no part in force. Now we have been shown up by our own Templar. And my fellow clerics have scattered to the wind along with... Just tell me one thing. Do you truly believe you are the Maker's chosen?
I do believe it.
Several, but I suppose it is out of our hands now. We shall all see what the Maker plans in the days to come.
You're obviously skeptical.
Our divine Her Holiness.
That doesn't answer my...
For you to be true, there is chaos ahead, whatever your intentions.
So what happens now? Will the chantry continue?
We have already... Now it falls on us to select a new divine.
Provided such a selection.
I truly don't know. Any reveal... What becomes of us, and your Inquisition, is in the Maker's hands now.
Where is the Lord Seeker taking the...
I can't begin to guess the Lord Seeker's mind.
There must be sense to what we can't...
Must there? Rebellion seems... Is crafting the Templars into a new power really any worse than declaring a rival to the Chantry itself?
What were you hoping the Lord Seeker would do?
Put aside his war against the mages and fight. Obviously, he has other plans. With the knights vigilant slain at the Conclave,
perhaps there is some...
I'd like to believe. I suppose we can expect renewed effort against the mages from him, and yet more chaos.
How many Templars turned on the chant?
They rebelled across Thedas. Some... The White Spire here in the capital was the largest. Perhaps more shall flock to the Lord Seeker's banner now. How far has...
How are people respond?
Despair. Fear. There must be a way through this. We abandoned our duties. We servants of the faith. Now we can only pray.
It's not too late.
If only that...
What's to stop you from trying?
We are not looking for a winning horse. Leave me be, survivor. Your presence here is not comforting. If only...
What's to stop...
We are not looking for a winning horse.
They left. The Templars left us to the mages. Chantry liars.
Well, this has all been a frustrating mess. Templars and Chantry and especially mages.
left us. The Templars left us to the...
I am open to you and yours. I price at a premium for everyone, so don't assume it's because... I expect my customers to know a rarity when they see it, just as I do.
We maintain an Inquisition presence on Commander Cullen's orders. Been received as you might expect.
Oh, yes.
Gracieux rossignol, que caches-tu sous tes plumes? Tendre maître espionne, ton cœur vaillant n'a fait que blesser tes amants. Ébloui et à l'abri, c'est notre vie. Éloigné de la mêlée.
cannot believe this.
Good day.
Rome has been filled with silence.
Just what we needed.
Maybe.
What? Yes, I'm sorry. Minding the duties of ailing Mother Hervara. I am...
You heard? Maybe.
Pleasure.
They left us. The Templars left us to the mages. Chantry liars.
If I might have a moment of your time.
Grand Enchanter Fiona?
Leader of the Mage Rebellion. Is it not dangerous for you to be here?
I heard of this gathering, and I wanted to see the fabled Herald of Andraste with my own eyes. If it's help with the breach you seek, perhaps my people are the wiser option.
I'm surprised the leader of the mages wasn't at the conclave.
Yes. You were supposed to be, and yet somehow you avoided death.
As did the Lord Seeker, you'll note. Both of us sent negotiators in our stead in case it was a trap. I won't pretend I'm not glad to live. I lost many dear friends that day. It disgusts me to think the Templars will get away with it. I'm hoping you won't let them.
So you think the Templars are responsible?
Why wouldn't she?
Lucius hardly seems broken up over his losses, if he's concerned about them at all. You heard him. You think he wouldn't happily kill the Divine to turn people against us? So yes, I think he did it. More than I think you did it, at any rate.
The mages weren't willing to talk to the Inquisition before. Why now?
Because now I've seen what you are. And I've seen the Chantry for what it is. Consider this an invitation to Redcliffe. Come, meet with the mages. An alliance could help us both, after all. I hope to see you there. Au revoir, my Lady Herald.
Come, let us return to Haven.
Well, I know who I work for, at least.
Andraste, how much did you expend to discover me? It must have weakened the Inquisition immeasurably.
I don't know who you are.
You don't fool me. I'm too important for this to be an accident. My efforts will survive in victories against you elsewhere.
Just say what?
What is that?
Ugh. Squishy one, but you heard me, right? Just say what? Rich tits always try for more than they deserve.
Blah, blah, blah. Obey me. Arrow in my face. So, you followed the notes well enough. Glad to see you're... And you're an elf. Well, hope you're not too elfy. I mean, it's all good, isn't it? The important thing is you glow. You're the herald thingy.
Some believe I'm the Herald of Andraste. But who are you? And what's this about?
No idea. I don't know this idiot from Manners. My people just said the Inquisition should look at him.
Your people? Elves?
No. People. Name's Sarah. This is cover. Get round it. For the reinforcements. Don't worry. Someone tipped me their equipment shed. They've got no breaches.
Why didn't you take their weapons?
Friends really came through with that tip. No breaches. So, Herald of Andraste. You're a strange one. I'd like to join.
How about we get to know each other first? You know, names and such.
One name. No, wait, two. Well, it's like this. I sent you a note to look for hidden stuff by my friends. The Friends of Red Jenny. That's me. Well, I'm one. So is a fence in Montfort, some woman in Kirkwall. There were 3 in Starkhaven, brothers or something. It's just a name, yeah? It lets little people, friends, be part of something while they stick it to nobles they hate. So here, in your face, I'm Sarah. The Friends of Red Jenny are sort of out there. I used them to help you. Plus arrows.
The Inquisition has spies already. Can you add to these professionals?
Here's how it is. You important people are up here, shoving your cods around. Blah, blah, I'll crush you. Ooh, crush you. Then you've got cloaks and spy kings, like this tit. Or was he one of the little knives, all serious with his little knife? All those secrets, and what gave him up? Some houseboy who don't know shite, but knows a bad person when he sees one. So no, I'm not knifey shiv dark, all hidden. But if you don't listen down here too, you risk your breeches. Like those guards, I stole their... Look, do you need people or not? I want to get everything back to normal. Like you.
So who are your Friends of Red Jenny? You must know them.
It's not hard to understand if you're not trying to waste your day on it. Someone little always hates someone big. And unless you don't eat, sleep or piss, you're never far from someone little. Doesn't always work out, but a lot of people hated this guy. Someone got a laugh, someone got even, someone got paid. And someone has to have explained to them that free help is good.
Back there you wanted to know if I glowed. Why?
That's what you do, innit? You walked out of somewhere and now you glow. Andraste's herald. True or not, it seemed like the easiest way to know it was you.
True or not?
Well, that's what they say and all. Look, don't get ahead, yeah? I want to help this... whatever it is. Inquisition.
All right, Sarah. I can use you and your friends.
Yes! Getting good before you're too big to like. That'll keep your breeches where they should be. Plus extra breeches because I have all these... You have merchants who buy that piss, yeah? Got to be worth something. Anyway, Haven. See you there, Herald. This will be grand.
Greetings.
That's enough for now.
Another time.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
I just hope I can help.
As do we all. It is enough that you would try. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
You left the Templars for this. You believe the Inquisition can work?
I do. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
No, but if you have one prepared, I'd love to hear it.
Another time, perhaps. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Ryden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying. Yes?
Why would Templars break away from the Chantry?
The Order believes the Chantry no longer supports their efforts. Not to the extent they should.
The Templars have served the Chantry for ages.
And in that time, they've come to take the Order. Templars risk their lives against blood. I may disagree with the Order's actions, but I'm here as proof of that. But I sympathize with their frustrations.
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
What do you think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
How do you like working with...
The Inquisition would not exist. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than... Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly. And Liliana is just as responsible for its formation.
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition?
Our numbers are small, but they suit our needs. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable.
I should let you get...
Was there something you needed?
Is there anything I should know?
The Lord Seeker's actions are a mystery, but the Templars will aid us. They cannot sit idle while the breach...
Is there anything I...
Redcliffe wasn't always a refuge for mages. Some of our recruits have family there. They feel...
Is there anything I...
Not at present.
Is there any...
Not at present.
I'd like to know more about the temple.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't... Anything else, I will answer as best I can.
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willing... The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. I was 13 when I left home.
13?
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
What about your family?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
Do the Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left, they were also tasked with tracking apostates or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or
What do you think of mages?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. Not that I want mages moving through our base complete. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession at the least.
You've lived in the Circle. What was it
Typical. The last time I was in a...
before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the... Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
Do Templars and mages never...
Some do, but Templars are supposed... If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act... Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy...
I wanted to learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would...
You were a model student.
Watching a candle burn down while reciting, I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch...
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but when it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of... As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
A life of service and sacrifice. Are Templars also expected to give up...
Physical? Why... Why would you... That's not expected. Templars can marry, although there are rules on that. Some may choose to give up more to prove their devotion, but it's... not...
Have you?
Me? Maker's breath. Can we speak of something else? I'm sure you have other matters. Was there something you needed?
I should get to know you better. We're working together, after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you?
I grew up in Ferelden, near Honwell. I was transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the... This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
You who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused relations between mages and Templars fell apart. Other than that, it was fine.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order. But Red, she threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion. Turned on her own men.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
Varric's from Kirkwall.
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition. Largely, apparently I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face. And it's bad for my health.
I'll let you...
Another time. Yes?
That's all for now.
I'm sure...
Please send Flisser our thanks for the refreshments.
Travel safely.
One down!
Here, have some drink.
You need something? You need something? Good. Another time, then. Let me... Another time, then.
Speak only the word. With passioned breath does the darkness creep. It is the whisper in the night.
Need something?
Can I ask you something very...
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Oh,
Thanks, Ver.
no problem.
Master Harry says the new recruits will have armor ready soon.
I'm listening.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages?
I've known mages. And yet I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
They called you the left...
That they did? What of it?
What is the point of it?
Justinia would have started the Inquisition if... She hoped that with enough support, she wanted the Chantry to treat the mages fairly. The Chantry has committed many injustices. It's just a thought. None of this will be possible if we fail.
I'll try not to break it.
That's good to hear.
I could use the left hand of the...
Every agent out in the world is my... Coming with you, leaving my post, would blind and bound me.
What exactly does...
A divine always has enemies. I watched, had an ear to every door. I identified threats, and I dealt with them.
Why did Justinia have...
There were many who felt she was unfit. Unlike many, she wasn't given to the... And because they thought she was unworthy, they wished her harm.
It sounds like you did some unscrup...
Perhaps, but wouldn't you do anything to protect what you love?
I'd like to hear about Justinia.
A friend. It made her human. I think her followers responded to that.
Was there something more than...
You're asking if we were lovers. Love is common. Love is... She was a... So to answer your question, yes.
How did you and Justinia...
I met her a long time ago. When I met her, she was mother... No, wait. She hates it.
We'll talk more.
Yes?
Let's talk about you.
Me?
Bards tell...
There are plenty of tales in the library. Perhaps you should look for them.
What did you do before you worked for the...
I trained to be a spy from a... For a while, I was wildly happy. I loved the... I went into hiding, and she presented me with my own network of spies and said I was the only...
You seem to know a great...
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You have a history with the warden who ended the Blight.
I had the privilege of calling her... The world seemed much duller after that. It still does.
You seem to know Joseph.
I met her a long time ago. But I'd just returned to Val Rayo. She was the The ball was... all right. We've been friends ever since.
What do you consider...
It's not a real party until someone's... And that's all I'm saying about it.
We can continue...
You know where... Yes?
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you.
Speak only the word. Sing only the chant. Then the golden city is thine.
So, this is it, huh? Oh, no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. That would have been hilarious if you were a man, right? Wasted. Anyway, stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
The Templars and the mages? Most people pick a side.
Most people are stupid.
Where do you stand on the war?
In the frigging middle with everyone else. You know what I hear about mages? Nothing, until one goes all demony. Know what I hear about Templars? Nothing, until they take maybe mages. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
Is there something else you're looking for? Like what's behind all this?
Maybe. I don't know. First things first, right? I help you, march, arrow, kick. Then people stop being stupid, and everything starts to make sense again. Sound good to you, all-touched Lady Herald?
I think I'll enjoy having you around, Sarah. I hope you'll feel the same.
Kinda. Suppose. Maybe. See you, Herald. Herald. I have to do something about that. Chasing the Lord Seeker, I hear. Anyone who thinks they need Lord in front of the name, that's... Bet he's got a portrait taller than he is. That's your first clue to a total arse. Fact.
Tell me about yourself.
Oh yeah? Interested, are you?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Erelden?
I got that from the accent.
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
Oh, you're from wherever. I'm from north wherever.
What?
North wherever. Oh, we had fun on street and or in local tavern.
Oh, hardy ha. Oh, funny you. It's complicated. I don't like complicated. Let's leave it at that. Maybe.
You're skilled.
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Usually it takes considerable discipline, and...
Hence. Look, not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it...
Well, it's not like that for other elves.
Most I know. Right. Maybe I just make... Where would I find one in alleyways, anyway?
I'm just interested in talking to an elf like me.
Don't think so.
Why not?
Well, maybe you're alright. But most... Like that's soulless, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
There's a lot of tradition there. Should...
Your great-grandfather's dead. Why aren't you dead?
That makes sense to you?
None of it does in the city. That's why I'm not like an elf.
We'll talk later.
If you say so. Chasing mages, that's a Templar's job. A big, armoured, pissed-off helm polisher. Not too late to go find some. Or stay home.
You apparently have a lot of friends.
It's not mine, right? Everyone who wants to shove it to nobles who hide behind gold and silk. And hats, I guess.
Are you just about pranks and revenge? Or is...
Well, it's a weave. I grease a ballroom, so a wyvern chasing Git has to hunt sprained. Strangely, his heirlooms pay off someone else. Maybe clean streets in Cook. Pish, pish, pish. A lot of people eventually get help or a laugh. Or maybe someone dead, if they deserve it.
So, you're vandals, thieves...
If the marks are right, Arth, yeah. But maybe pantsing and clearing is embarrassed the same as dead for some of them. For some, no fun that lot. They might plonk a noble. Plus, I'm shy at singing.
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, Red is scary because blood. And Jenny is... And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe. Numbers, yeah? An even spread is all it takes.
Doesn't this mean people think you're guilty of more than you...
Suppose.
Shouldn't it?
Important people kill over imagined insults. I've made more than enough real ones, so no. I don't suppose it does.
Where are the people you promised?
If I knew, there wouldn't be much use.
Look, unless your baddies are rocks or trees, they have people. Yeah, I know. Wipers, right?
You better believe. Well, anyway, the little people will be there when you need them, in a million little ways.
This doesn't seem like it would produce much in the way of results.
It's working for you. What, is every follower of yours a giant who does all things and knows your every... Not your team of doers. I mean the people gathering. Is that... Seems like that should make it weirder.
I can play along if it works.
You have a choice. Hail the Inquisition.
We'll talk another time.
It's all good. Something on?
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Which, the ones who do things or the ones who give orders?
Thoughts about Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? Tough, though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
What about Solus?
Solus? His head's crammed up 1,000 years ago.
Anything to say about Varric?
Varric? Too clever. Always saying something, but never saying it straight.
What do you think about our spy master,
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her too. Or heard she used to play. Now Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it.
We'll talk later.
Good. Her gracious lady bit.
Is the Inquisition what you thought it would be?
Calling an Inquisition is a bit much, isn't it? Fair question for me as well, I suppose. At least I'm used to that.
What do you think about...
Again, with your people. Right, which ones?
We'll talk later.
Good.
Got the door again, Flisser. Don't know how it keeps breaking.
Moral clumsy soldiers can do. You think...
What can I do for you?
We'll talk later.
When there was no sky, Maker, you were the sky. When there was no earth, you were the...
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in a city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
We had to do something, and now we have an opportunity.
Yes, and we have the opening we need to approach the Templars and the mages.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
I think the Templars are worth investigating.
I agree. What could the Lord Seeker be up to?
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
After the Divine's death, they're probably scrambling for allies.
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave...
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
There is one other matter. Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in Orlais, but they have also disappeared. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
Grey Wardens. I'm not familiar with them.
They're an ancient order that has existed to fight Darkspawn invasions since the First Blights thousands of years ago. They have faded since those glory days, but haven't disappeared entirely. Ordinarily, their order is neutral in political affairs, but they appear in strange places.
That does sound odd, I agree.
The others have disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And if he can't?
Then there may be more going on than we thought.
Greetings, Herald of Andraste.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
We can use that.
What may I do for you?
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
Any
None in particular. Good day to you.
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies.
Any thoughts on...
Who did you mean?
I'd love to know how you and Sarah...
I know she extracts gossip from the servants, and she keeps... Sarah's ability to vanish whenever her mischief's discovered must come in handy, however. I'm sure.
Let's speak...
Farewell.
We'll post soldiers a safe distance from the temple.
Our best guess that's safe, anyway.
All right.
Let's see what we have.
At your service.
O Maker, hear my cry. Seat me by your side in death. Make me one within your glory. Let the world once more see your favor.
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
Who are you, soldier?
Cremisius Aclasi with the Bulls Chargers Mercenary Company. We mostly work out of Olay and Navarra. We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the... My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bulls Chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
What can your Bulls Chargers offer the Inquisition?
We're loyal, we're tough, and we don't break contracts. Ask around Val Royeaux. We've got references.
What should I know about...
Iron Bull? He's one of those Kunari. He leads from the front. He pays well, and he's a lot smarter than the last bunch. Best of all, he's professional. We accept contracts with whoever make... You're the first time he's gone out of his way to pick a side.
Why did your commander send us?
Iron Bull wants to work for the Inquisition. He thinks you're doing good work.
I look forward to meeting the...
We're the best you'll find. Come to the store.
Lady Lavellen, on behalf of the Inquisition.
What a pleasure to meet you, my lady. Seeing the same faces at every event becomes so tiresome. So you must be a guest of Madame de Fer, or are you here for Duc Bastien?
Are you here on business? I have heard the most curious tales of you. I cannot imagine half of them are true.
What have you heard about me?
Some say that when the veil opened, Andraste herself delivered you from the Fade.
I'm not familiar with that name. I was invited here by First Enchanter Vivienne.
Madame de Fer is a fond nickname the court has given Lady Vivienne.
I've heard she finds it amusing.
I've heard very little about Duc Bastien.
He hasn't been seen much at court lately.
His business with the Council of Heralds often takes him from home for long periods. It can't be good for a man of his years.
And of course, there's the civil war. Bastien probably wishes to distance himself from the actions of his one-time son-in-law.
Tearing up the Dales in a foolish bid for power? It will end in disgrace for Gaspard. Everyone knows it.
Some of those storytellers may have gotten carried away.
But only for the best effect. The Inquisition is a ripe subject for wild tales.
The Inquisition. What a lot of pig shit. Washed up sisters and crazed seekers. No one can take them seriously. Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
That's not true. I'm just searching for Divine Justinia's killer.
Of course you are. I'm sure your army is out scouring the hills for her murderer as we speak. We know what your Inquisition truly is. If you were a woman of honor, you'd step outside and answer the charges.
My dear Marquis, how unkind of you to use such language in my house to my guests. You know such rudeness is intolerable.
Madame Vivienne, I humbly beg your pardon.
You should. Whatever am I going to do with you, my dear? My lady, you're the wounded party in this unfortunate affair. What would you have me do with this foolish, foolish man?
I think the Marquis has seen the error of his ways.
By the grace of Andraste, you have your life, my dear. Do be more careful with it. I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've so wanted to meet you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Vivienne, first enchanter of Montsimard and enchantress to the Imperial Court.
Is that Marquis going to pose a problem?
His aunt is the Vicomtesse of Mont de Glace. Not a powerful family, but well respected. And very devout. Alphonse will be disowned for this. It's not the first time he's brought his aunt disgrace, but I'm sure it'll be the last. And after such a public humiliation, I expect he'll run off to the Dales to join the Empress's war effort. Either to make a good end, or to win back a modicum of self-respect.
Your salon has certainly exceeded my expectations so far.
I'm glad to keep you entertained, my dear. I wanted to meet face to face. It is important to consider one's connections carefully. With Divine Justinia dead, the Chantry's in shambles. Only the Inquisition might restore sanity and order to our frightened people. As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
You say you led the last of the loyal mages. Loyal to whom?
To the people of Thedas, of course. We have not forgotten the commandment, as some have, that magic exists to serve man. I support any effort to restore such order.
So you're in favor of returning the mages to the Circle, then?
Where else can mages safely learn to master their talents? We need an institution to protect and nurture magic. Maker knows, magic will find neither on its own.
You say you led the last of the loyal mages.
I support any effort to restore such order.
What's in this for you?
The same thing anyone gets by fighting this chaos. The chance to meet my enemy, to decide my fate. I won't wait quietly for destruction.
Are you devout? What's your opinion of the Chantry?
I was a great admirer of the late divine Justinia V. The Chantry, at its best, unites the disparate cultures of Thedas and looks after its most vulnerable. Had she lived, Justinia could have accomplished so much.
You are aware that the Chantry hasn't sanctioned this Inquisition.
The Chantry is leaderless. They're in no position to officially sanction anything. Besides, my dear, if there is one virtue the Chant of Light teaches us, it is forgiveness. Once the Inquisition has sealed the breach, I am sure the new Divine will not care in the slightest about official permission.
What exactly can you do for the Inquisition?
I am well versed in the politics of the Orlesian Empire. I know every member of the Imperial Court personally. I have all the resources remaining to the Circle at my disposal. And I'm a mage of no small talent. Will that do?
Does that mean you'd be aiding the Inquisition from the Imperial Palace?
Ordinarily, I would be happy to serve as liaison to the court, but these are not ordinary times. The veil has been ripped apart and there is a hole in the sky. It is now the duty of every mage to work towards sealing the breach. And so I would join the Inquisition on the field of battle.
Is your interest in the Inquisition Madame de Fer, or is it more personal?
Aren't you charming? It's professional, of course.
The Inquisition will be happy to have you, Lady Vivian.
Great things are beginning, my dear. I can promise you that.
don't understand. Even the Templars are cultured. You just know what's doing. Listen to Seeker Pentacast. She'll find a way to see them.
Did you need something?
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you.
Hey, it's you again.
What do you think about the people who...
Again with your people. Right, which ones?
What's your opinion?
She's a bitch, but she knows. She better.
We'll talk later.
Good, right?
Just returning the cups, Blissa. Thank you for bringing us drinks.
chalice in victory. Once we sat in the light of our dreams. Once we were in our homeland with strength and might. Once we were not afraid of the night. We held the fate and the demon's flight, so far from our children and from our lives. We held together the fragile sky to keep our way of life.
Hello.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
All men are the work of our Maker's hands.
I met an elven mage earlier. Solus, I believe he was called. I admit I was surprised. I didn't expect to find mages among the Inquisition. Tell me, why were you at the Divine Conclave?
If war is the only solution to injustice, then so be it.
Do you tell that to the victims? That their suffering is all the more meaningful because it is for a great cause? I'm sure that makes everything better. Justinia's death has shattered the balance of power in Thedas. If it is not restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
That's why you wanted to be here. To have a hand in deciding that fate.
Wouldn't you? For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
If that's true, then I'll put it to good use.
I suppose we'll see. I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you. Yes?
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
If the Circle disbanded, how can you still belong?
The Circle is an idea, my dear. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the Circle in two. The rebels follow her.
If you lead all the loyalists, why?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no... I could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored...
How did we come to this state with the Circle?
A failure of perspective that infect... Mages lived solely in a world of Templars and mages. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of... When a mage attempted to assassinate divine justice, the leadership chose to vote on independence based on sparing no thought to the... So long as they had their freedom, they could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
Are you familiar with Grand
We've met. Before her horrendously ill-timed and selfish vote for independence, in her dotage, she could not... We would have done better to replace her years ago, to let her spend time gardening.
Did they have cause to rebel?
In the aftermath of their terrorist attacks? Was that real? By all means protest abuses by the Templar. By voting when they did. My colleagues all but... A war in which we are outnumbered 100 to 1.
I thought the fighting was only between mages and Templar.
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin. Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the... by breaking from the Chantry when they did. Anyone who did not wish to support terrorism and the slaughter of innocents was forced to take arms. Yes?
I wanted to ask you about...
Of course. What do you wish to know?
What was it like to live in a circle?
My dear, your question is the root of all problems with mages. I cannot tell you. Every circle was different. Their Templars were different, their politics unique. And every person within each tower had an experience of circle life unique to themselves. Some people suffered and some were content. Some were cruel, some compassionate, and some indifferent. The same is true of people everywhere, in all circumstances, whether they are mages or not.
So tell me about your personal experience with the Circle.
I enjoyed life in the Montsimard Circle, and mages need the company of other mages. No one else can truly understand the challenges we face.
You must have been under constant supervision, being forced by Templar.
My dear, I have a suite in the palace and a wing at my dear Duke Bastien's. Most circles allowed mages to live away from the tower, either on their own. All that was required was permission. Some circles were harsher in their restrictions. Perhaps too permissive in retrospect.
You must have an opinion of the Templars after...
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions. I have known some who were impossible to endure, and some... I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or trade. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements. Yes?
I'd like to know more about you, Madame.
Whatever would you like to know?
Your accent's not Orlesian.
I am from the Circle, my dear. One's country of origin rarely matters. But if you must know, I was born in Wycombe in the Free... I was sent to the Ostwick Circle, but I transferred to Montsimard while still an apprentice.
I'm curious how a Circle mage winds...
Nobody winds up at court, my dear. I caught the eye of Duke Bastien de Ghislaine. When the position of Enchanter to the Imperial Court became vacant, I was able to secure it.
You're married to the Duke de Ghislaine?
Of course not, my... Marriage is the business of alliance and inheritance. I'm Bastien's mistress.
What duties does a court enchanter have?
I am tasked with providing assistance to the Empress on arcane matters. Most of my predecessors restricted this to lighting lamps and doing parlor tricks. In such troubled times as these, however, I provide political advice to Her Majesty on the subject of the Mage Rebellion.
Do you think that...
How very sweet of you to ask. Yes?
I'd like to know more about you.
Whatever would you like to know?
I'm curious how a circle...
Nobody winds up at court, my dear. I caught the eye of Duke Bast. When the position of Enchanter to the Imperial Court became vacant, I was able to secure it. Yes?
Do you think...
Yes?
Do you think that...
I don't see how that benefits me. Yes?
Do you think that you and I might someday...
How very sweet of you to ask. Yes?
Is there anything I can do to help your efforts?
After the circles fell, there 1,000 years of recorded knowledge. I've received news that some tomes have been located. If you are interested in righting this wrong.
I'll look into it.
If you can take care of this matter, then...
I will take these injury reports to researcher Monet.
The apothecary would like to know
What may
why
I do
you
for
need
you?
so much death row.
To do my
What do
job.
the people make...
Oh, despite our fame, we're low
Tell
on
him
steadfast
that,
allies.
Enchanter. I'm not
Any
an
vis-
enchanter.
None in
I'm an
particular.
apprentice. Just please tell Adon I need that death route.
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on
Any thoughts on...
Who did you mean?
What do you think of it?
We've met a few times before at court. She remains so long as her interests align with yours, Madame Vivienne will be a most valuable ally.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
If those refugees are going to defend themselves, they'll need real defenses. I've got a few ideas.
I've built watchtowers in the areas you...
Nicely done. That'll give... I'll speak to the master.
Nothing to report, sir.
Milady. Scouted the area. Need anything?
line there and there, no gaps. Remember how to carry your shields. You're not hiding, you're holding. Otherwise, it's useless.
Blackwall? Warden Blackwall?
You're not... How do you know my name? Who said... That's it. Help or get out. We're dealing with these idiots first. Conscripts, here they come! Hold the wall, men! Make them come to me! You're dead, bastard! Dead! I wasn't here to fight. Stop and think. Wait for that! Sorry, bastards. Good work, conscripts. Even if this shouldn't have happened, they could have... Well, thieves are made, not born. Take back what they stole. Go back to your families. You saved yourselves. You're no farmer. Why do you know my name? Who are you?
I'm here investigating Grey Wardens for the Inquisition. We're seeing if their disappearance has anything to do with the murder of the Divine.
Maker's balls. The Wardens and the Divine. That can't... No, you're asking so you don't really know. First off, I didn't know they disappeared. But we do that, right? No more blight, job done. Wardens are the first thing forgotten. But one thing I'll tell you, no Warden killed the Divine. Our purpose isn't political.
I'm not here to accuse. Not yet. I just need information. I've only found you. Where are the rest?
I haven't seen any Wardens for months. I travel alone, recruiting. Not much interest because the Archdemon is a decade dead, and no need to conscript because there's no blight coming. Treaties give Wardens the right to take what we need, who we need. These idiots forced this fight, so I conscripted their victims. They had to do what I said, so I told them to stand. Next time they won't need me. Grey Wardens can inspire. Make you better than you think you are.
I wasn't aware Grey Wardens could take whatever they want.
It's complicated. If there's a blight, everyone has to help the effort to fight it. The treaties are ancient. Outside of blights, it's as binding as a clever tongue can make it.
Do you have any idea where the other Wardens could have gone?
Maybe they returned to our stronghold at Weishaupt. That's in the Anderfels, a long way north. I don't really know. Can't imagine why they'd all disappear at once, let alone where they'd disappear to.
Why haven't you gone missing like the rest of them?
Well, maybe I was going to. Or maybe there's a new directive but a runner got lost or something. My job was to recruit on my own. Plan to stay that way for months. Years.
Well, thank you, Warden Blackwall. Now, where does this leave us?
Inquisition. Agent, did you say? Hold a moment. The Divine is dead and the sky is torn. Events like these, thinking we're absent is almost as bad as thinking we're involved. If you're trying to put things right, maybe you need a warden. Maybe you need me.
The Inquisition needs all the support it can get. But what can one Grey Warden do?
Save the fucking world if pressed. Look, maybe fighting demons from the sky isn't something I'm practiced at. But show me someone who is. And like I said, there are treaties. Maybe this isn't a blight, but it's bloody well a disaster. Some will honor them. Being a warden means something to a lot of people.
Warden Blackwell, the Inquisition accepts your offer.
Good to hear. We both need to know what's going on. And perhaps I've been keeping to myself for too long. This warden walks with the Inquisition.
Do you need something?
That's enough for now.
Another time.
Was there something you needed?
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
What do you...
Who do you mean?
Are you sad?
Our numbers are small. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order.
I should let you...
Day to you.
Make her look at it. So much easier to ignore when it's far away. And to actually walk out of it, to be that close.
I survived. Nothing to crow about.
Nothing to crow about? Do people normally fall out of the sky where you come from? I have to admit, I thought you'd be...
Human?
Yes.
Being up front is better than knifeier.
It was a foolish thought. Should have known better than to say anything. It's what you do and how you do it that's important. Just one question then. How do you think you fit in with all this?
I just want to help stop the war. Try to put things back in order.
A worthy goal, one I'm happy to support. For me, I'll be satisfied so long as we find the bastards that killed the Divine. They owe us some answers. I've heard rumors of abandoned warden camps all over these parts. If we have time, I'd like to take a look, see if there's anything we can salvage.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must...
The Wardens? I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
The Blight's been over for 10 years. What do Wardens do when the world...
There is still Darkspawn. Just because we killed so... and the world is not so peaceful that there's no... Sometimes you have to figure out for yourself what... It's not always about just archdemons and Blights.
Where were you during the Blight?
I was in Ferelden. Quietly killed my fair share of Darkspawn too.
You haven't had contact with other Wardens for a while.
It's what I've always done. Besides, I've always been a loner. Works best for everyone that way.
So you have no idea where...
Do you find that odd? The Blight is... and orders don't change much. For the last 1,000 years or so, it's been just find Darkspawn, kill them.
Let's continue.
As you wish. Something on your mind?
I want to hear more about you.
Compared to yours, my life will seem dull indeed.
Your name Blackwall doesn't sound Orlesian. Marcher, then?
I was from the Free Marchers originally. That was a long time ago. Another life.
I hear that many wardens were once...
You're right. When you join, your past is forgotten, so let's leave it that way.
What did you do before you became...
I was a soldier. I grew weary of fighting other men's war.
So you became a warden?
More or less. Becoming a Grey Warden, the life I led before seems hollow in comparison. Perhaps one day it will fade away.
Why did you join the Warden?
Because they remember honor and sacrifice. Because they lay down their lives for those... We all need to believe there are such men in the world. I needed to believe...
We can continue the...
Very well. Yes?
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I expected more. More men. You may have Andraste's favor, but wars are won by men, soldiers.
Avoiding war altogether would be...
True enough. Still, one thing I will say about your men. Build on that foundation, and you will have an army that makes nations tremble.
What do you think about all this trouble between the mages and...
Looking at it from where we stand, it seems inevitable. How many of us actually... Either way, I don't think the Chantry will ever recover. It's a war camp that was once a... It's the state of the world, though, isn't it? Holy pity about that temple. Would have been nice to see it.
What do you think of my...
Josephine's lovely, and craftier than you'd expect. The Inquisition could not have picked a better ambassador.
What do you think of...
Cullen. He's got the look of... He's seen the best and the worst of humanity. Still, I trust him to watch my back.
What do you think...
Cullen. He's seen the best... Still, I trust him to watch my back.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Have you seen the stories Varric's been writing? His descriptions of me are...
You must have some feel...
Sarah doesn't know who she is or what she wants. And doesn't even care.
You must have some...
I fear for Cassandra sometimes. The way she throws herself into battle.
You must have some feel...
I fear for Cassandra sometimes. The way she throws herself into battle.
What do you think of my...
Josephine's lovely. And craftier than you'd expect.
You must have...
Sarah doesn't know who she is or what she wants. And doesn't even...
What do you think of the Inquisition?
Restoring order is a... But that's not the end of it. The Lady Seeker believes we are restoring... I don't know where you stand on the matter, and I'll admit I haven't made up my mind either.
We should return...
As you wish. Something on your mind?
You're oddly charming for a man I found wandering the forest.
I always thought myself more odd than charming. But they're hard to come by these days.
You can have more if you like. I store them in my private quarters.
Well, well... I was not expecting that. Thanks for the tempting offer, my lady. I'll have to consider it carefully.
What do you think of...
You already know what I think of your forces. I'm not sure what else there is to say.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish.
Travel safely.
For I walk only where you
Have you Vivienne. What a circle maid should be.
She looks like a noble. It's arrogant.
It is not arrogant to be unafraid.
Just returning the cups, Flisser. Thank you for bringing us drinks.
Agreeable girl. Her tongue tells tales of rebellion, but she was so fast and quick with her bow. No one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. A rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a tavern, but she was so sharp and quick with a bow. Arrows strike like a dragon. Sarah was never quite the gentlest girl. Her eyes were sharp like a razor, but she knew the ways of commoner men, and she knew just how to use them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Empress of fire in the reign of the lion, eclipsing the eye.
Hey, it's you again.
What do you think about the people who...
Again with your people. Right, which ones?
Any thoughts about Warden?
He's too good, right? I'd like to see him out of that uniform. Not like that.
We'll talk later.
Good, right?
The Chantry isn't supporting us.
I told you that it was complicated. Without the Flisser sent me over to see if you need anything.
Thank you, no. Can't eat while I'm working. Crumbs in a potion could ruin everything.
Yes?
Do you think that you...
How very sweet of you to ask.
These truths the Maker has revealed to me.
I will
As
take
there
these
is but
injury
one
reports
God,
to research in the nave.
If you're not using them later, Segrit is willing to pay.
I don't feel Good day to you.
What do the people make?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim...
Any thought?
Who did you mean?
What do you think of Sir...
Sir Blackwall seems as loyal to the purpose of the Inquisition. His travels must have taken him strange places. I wish he'd speak more about them.
Let's speak...
Another... Nothing yet.
To work?
Let us begin. Let's see what we have.
To work?
We are garnering interest from the capital.
You're not pleased?
I am not convinced we are prepared for the full scrutiny of Val Royeaux.
Come to join us at the oasis? It's actually quite the sight. It and the temple are further in.
Have you learned anything more about the temple?
Honestly, I don't like the feel of the place. No one does.
Why not?
Couldn't say. It's just a feeling.
Anything else I should know?
Not much to tell. A mining company out of Valfremin used to have an interest here, but economies change and they moved on. Strange the miners never marked the temple on their maps.
Word for you.
What is it?
See for yourself.